Separating the myth from the manifestation. This is Seen and Unseen. I am Edgar Rack, and today, as always, we cross the line. A very popular topic these days is psychology. Relationship psychology, masculine and feminine psychology, the list goes on. But very few people, almost no one, talks about the psychology of demons. And of course, I'm not talking about how Freud's or Jung's theories apply to their existence. Rather, having researched this field and performed exorcisms for quite a while, I have come to learn how they think, the way they plan things far in advance, their cunning methods of deception, and most importantly, the logic of lies embedded deep within every single word they say, even when they are telling the absolute truth. Now, during exorcisms, evil spirits sometimes literally start talking to the exorcist or to the people in the room. I remember during one of my cases, this exact situation took place. Right before the end of the exorcism, the spirit became far more violent. There was no twisting of the heads or chains breaking. Hollywood likes to exaggerate those scenes. But it did become deeply unsettling. As I was closing in on the final prayer, the spirit addressed me directly. It began telling me all of the most horrible and shameful things I personally have ever done in my life up to that point. Sins that only I knew about, sins I tried to forget, sins I thought were a permanent secret. The demon started shaming me. It even gave me a short, chilling laugh after reminding me of the transgressions I committed in my past. Things I definitely was not proud of. It started naming names of people I have offended, friends and family members that I had hurt in the past. Now, in that room, it was not just me and the possessed individual. There were also his wife, his parents, and his brother, all praying over him as well. Imagine the immense shame and the psychological weight I felt in front of all those people. Long story short, by the grace of God, the exorcism was successful. But the precise psychological trick the demon used forced me to dig even deeper into the study of demonology, to understand how they think, how they operate, and how they lie by telling the truth. What the demon did in that room is deeply rooted in their psyche and their specific methodology for breaking a human being. They hit you emotionally and psychologically, right where it hurts the most. Through my years in the field, I have learned that demons are masters, the absolute PhDs, of dragging out the worst parts of your past, throwing it directly in your face, and manipulating the data to corrupt your mind and soul. Have you ever experienced voices in your head, condemning you for things you did years ago? Has your conscience ever eaten you alive from the inside? Even after you changed your life for the better, have you ever been suddenly reminded of your dark past by an acquaintance, a friend, or a relative? Who do you think was actually speaking to you, trying to break you emotionally? As I said, demons are master manipulators. They always find a gateway, either by whispering inside your mind during your moments of ultimate weakness, or by weaponizing other people to play with your emotions. The malevolent spirit in my story was attempting to do the exact same thing to me. It wanted to trigger me emotionally. It wanted to force a reaction, to make me angry, upset, and cause me to lose my absolute focus in my prayer. Interestingly enough, they applied this exact psychological strategy to information in general. Biblical texts, news channels, media, basically anything. I used to joke that demons are the best theologians on earth because they know the Bible better than any university professor. In fact, they know it almost perfectly. It is the way they misuse the information and manipulate the truth that makes their lies incredibly hard to detect. Sometimes, it is not even about how true the information is. It is about how, when, and in what way it is used that makes it malicious and deceptive. Think about Jesus' temptation in the desert. Satan was quoting the scriptures perfectly, word for word. So as strange as it is to say this, but he was technically telling the truth. But it was the context, the timing, and the purpose that made it deceptive and evil. Deception disguised in truth is the easiest way to affect and destroy a person. Think of Adam and Eve. The serpent, the Nahash in Hebrew, told them, "You will not surely die. Your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." Again, a half-truth. After they tasted the fruit, their eyes indeed were opened. They suddenly became intensely aware of shame, guilt, and nakedness. In that sense, their knowledge did change. But the serpent completely twisted what that reality would mean. Instead of becoming exalted like God, humanity fell into sin, separation, intense suffering, and death. There is a foundational concept in demonology that Satan cannot create anything new. God is the sole creator. What the adversary does instead is take something already created, already written, and already established, and twist it to meet his cunning, malevolent purposes. Look at our society today. Family, for example, a sacred covenant established by God, has been completely turned upside down, corrupted, and twisted. The core concept of happiness, love, faith, and devotion, they are all still there. Only their definitions have been thoroughly corrupted, completely. This is why I always tell people, Satan is not against love. He's just against the specific type of love that comes from God. The same goes for happiness. Everyone thinks evil spirits don't want people to be happy. Of course they do. They have absolutely nothing against happiness. The only catch is that they twist the concept of what happiness is and what makes us happy. And that is exactly why you see millions of people looking for love, happiness, and purpose in all the wrong places. So keeping in mind Adam and Eve, Jesus in the desert, we see that the pattern isn't just happening to you or me. It is an ancient, established demonic methodology. So when I speak about demonic psychology, this is exactly what I mean. True statements, or half-truths, disguised and delivered in a corrupt, deceitful way to guide a soul down the wrong path. Those mental traps serve one primary purpose: to trigger you emotionally, so you take your eyes off your true objectives in life. Or, as it was in my case during that intense exorcism, taking my focus off the prayer before the work was fully finished. This warfare is directed straight at you, through the music you listen to, the movies you watch, the norms accepted by modern society, and even the people closest to you. And now I will give you the best possible example of this. In boxing, the best punch is not the jab, it is not the hook, and it is definitely not the cross. The absolute best punch in boxing is the punch your opponent never sees coming. The exact same rule applies to spiritual warfare and demonic psychology. Their punches, meticulously designed as sophisticated half-truths, are specifically engineered to never be seen, and frankly, we almost never do. That is the entire reason for this podcast, and that is the exact reason why I founded my community, Seen and Unseen, community about demonology, exorcisms, demonic possession, and paranormal, to refuse to give in and to avoid being quietly defeated in the spiritual warfare we are all locked into every single minute of the day. Now, as always, my friends, if you are serious about understanding the actual mechanics of exorcism, spiritual warfare, the reality of the demonic, and the true boundaries of the paranormal, the door to my Seen and Unseen community is open. Inside, you can examine real field case studies from my 15 years of research, access step-by-step video modules, and get direct answers from me during our weekly live Q&As. The link is right down in the description below. In our next episode, we are going to look at a foundational question. What is an exorcism? I'm going to break down exactly what it is, what it's definitely not, and address the myths surrounding this heavy practice. As for now, we have crossed the line. Keep your eyes open. This was Seen and Unseen, and I will see you in the next episode.